I hype me up, I gas me up, I hype me up, I gas me up, I hype me up, I gas me up. Take up space, sis. Got my room with this. Take up space, sis. I got my room with this. I'm a trip for this.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. I have taken a few days break. It is Wednesday. I hope everybody is doing well. I hope everybody is having a wonderful morning so far. I'm about to get my day started. I have to work at 11. So I came on, hopped on for a quick hour to discuss some things. So good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone. Let's see. Good morning, Love Seen Her. Morning, Dee Dee. So again, I just came on because I've been off a few days, just enjoying not being on the internet as much. Um, I realized that I give a lot of time to the internet and I need to give more time to my books. Just I love being outside. Saturday, I went to a Malcolm X festival, and me and my sisters and my children and my nieces, and we had a time just enjoying outdoors, live music, vendors, great food. I had a good time. So today we're going to talk about destiny. I have a few topics. Again, I've missed out on so much just not being on every day. So of course I've missed out on a couple of topics, but I definitely want to talk about Destiny Payton, a little bit of Love and Marriage Huntsville, and a few other trending topics. I will say that I will not be talking about. I know Diddy is a hot topic right now, and for me, I won't be doing a lot of talking about Diddy and the whole Diddy case, just because as things come in, I'll listen. Right now, I just feel like that's all that we're hearing, and it's triggering for a lot of people. And I just think it's a lot of AB users talking about an AB user. Good morning, love, Key. Good morning. Um, the fact that 50 Cent just sold his docuseries to Netflix, it does not sit well with me personally because 50 Cent is an AB user too. So we're going to listen to one AB user over the other AB, make it make sense. It has to make sense for me, and it doesn't make sense. So and it's a lot of a lot of people that have done the same type of thing, speaking out just to kind of get the heat, or so won't get any smoke. And I'm just kind of like, I cannot deal with that type of nonsense. Yeah. 50, you were convicted in 2012, 2013. You were convicted of DV against your baby mom. She's came out and spoken. She's even accused you of SA. So are you doing the docuseries because this is something you truly believe in? You truly believe in DV? Or are you doing the docuseries because he, for years, has been having a relationship with your child's mother? And I just can't. People's stance on DV is just hit my phone every time I do it live. Y'all, I could be off the internet and my dog doesn't bark, my phone doesn't ring. As soon as I jump on live, guess what happens? My dog starts to act up, my phone rings nonstop, and here we go. Yes, love, Key. I definitely think 50 is on some get back. I don't think he has a stance on DV, because if he did, then he wouldn't be he wouldn't be a DVer himself. Somebody that's put somebody through this. Both his baby moms have said this about him. There's been other women. There was a lady, she has a lot of tattoos. I can't remember her name. She's not famous, but she's come out and talked about him. And his DV. So I don't understand. And people go run to the comment sections and are like, yeah, I was waiting on you. I was, how? So are you wanting to be entertained, or do you really stand for something? That's where a lot of people lose me. So I think that's a topic that I will stay away from. However, I do have some videos coming. I'm putting them together now. There's a lot of predatory behavior in Hollywood that is often overlooked. My next video will be about Farrell versus Allen, Mia Farrow versus Woody Allen. And if you all are not familiar with them, you will get familiar with them through my video. Woody Allen actually SA'd one of Mia's adopted children, and he actually married another and has 2 children with her. And, the relationship, Mia found information on the relationship when her daughter was still a minor. So, and he's still thriving and, living like none of this happened with an SA and also marrying his stepdaughter. So, yeah, it's a lot of predatory behavior in Hollywood that's often overlooked. And I'm just going to bring some awareness to that. Yes, love seeing her. Yes, Didi, it was sick, very sick. So I'm going to do a video on that. So, trigger warning already. Trigger warning. But yes, Woody Allen was I'm talking about disgusting. Disgusting. And he just walks freely around, Hollywood like nothing happened, like, So I will be talking about that and just bringing some awareness to different predatory behaviors that are often overlooked, and people just continue to walk. Diddy's not the only monster; he's one of many. And we'll just be bringing some awareness to those situations. But let's get into Miss Destiny Payton. So, Destiny Payton did an interview on her channel. She did a series, Mental Health Monday or Mental Mondays or something to that effect. And first I want to say, I think that she took that idea from Melody. I just think that Chris Rock Chris Rock, as quiet as it kept. He's a, listen, love, it's so many people. I'm talking about it's so many predators and predatory behaviors in Hollywood and in the music industry, entertainment industry in general, that's overlooked. And a lot of people are silent and hiding right now because Diddy is at the forefront. And not that I think Diddy should get all the karma, and he's going to get all of the karma that is due to him. But people, it's just so many people. It's been so accepted so long. He's just the face of it right now. And so we'll just be bringing some awareness to a lot of predators, DVers, AB users. There, my phone again. um, we'll be bringing a lot of awareness. But so Destiny Payton did this Mental Health Mondays on her page. And if you all remember, I want to say it was like last summer where Melody was doing her mental health lives on her page, and she would bring people to join her page, and they would just talk about mental health. And I feel like they watch Melody and they just try to reenact what they've seen her do. Because my thing with Destiny, now anybody can do anything on their page, don't get me wrong. If you want to bring awareness to mental health, what I don't understand with Destiny is we've been able to see Melody go through many transitions and how she's overcome. I oftentimes say she handles things way better than I ever could. Even with therapy, I've been in therapy. I started therapy for the first time. I started therapy, I think, when I was 15 for the first time. And so throughout my life, I've, gone to therapy periods throughout my life, and I'm 38 at this point. I just don't see the progression. Destiny has shown any real growth Uh, hey, hey, sis. Good to see you. Thank you for joining. So, I just haven't seen any real growth or progression in uh, Miss Payton. I just haven't seen it. We haven't seen it on screen. Even without Love and Marriage Huntsville, I haven't seen a whole lot of growth. But she's doing Mental Health Mondays on her page. And in this particular Mental Health Monday, she addressed her arrest, and also she addressed jumping on a call. Y'all have a great. Thank you, love Key. Thank you for joining. Talk to you later. See you next time. Thank you for always supporting. Um, yeah, so she did a mental health interview, and on the mental health interview, she discussed her arrest, her actual arrest with that she experienced a few days prior regarding fraud. So Destiny began to state that she, with the fraud situation, she says that she pulled up to the dentist's office and nobody really knew that she was going to be meeting at the dentist. So in that stance right there, she was insinuating, to my perspective, she was insinuating that LaBerrick is the one that alerted police that she would be at the dentist's office. She says that when she pulled up, there were police everywhere. She said it was a SWAT. It was police everywhere. When she got out the car, she was looking around. She was concerned for her son. She got out of the car. She was looking around, and a police approached her and asked her, was she Destiny Payton? She said yes. It immediately triggered her because she was concerned with her son. So she then says that the police informed her that she had an active warrant for fraud. She told the police that she had already handled that situation. It had to be misinformation. He said that he would look into it, and sure enough, she had an active warrant for fraud. She was asking them to shield her from the paparazzi so nobody could get pictures of her. And she was just humiliated and traumatized. These were her words. She was traumatized by the situation. And she was taken in, booked, and later released on bond. Okay, so if Miss Payton was so traumatized, now I know trauma, I've experienced trauma. The way that she described this situation is very traumatizing, especially if you know that your child is present, you're in a public place, you're not aware of a warrant. That would be a very traumatizing situation, especially if you think you've done away with these charges and you're not aware of the situation and you're ambushed. That could be a traumatizing situation. However, I know that we're all built different, but trauma to me does not look like you going to party in Atlanta with your friends. She mentioned Diddy and Cassie. She began to talk about DV, speaking on LaBerrick. But to me, it just doesn't look like going to a party that you're not obligated to attend. There was no Diddy forcing you to go to the party. There was, you don't have an obligation. These are not your cast members. These are not your castmates. These are not your, you don't have a stock in this investment that they have. So you really had no obligation to do your hair, get dressed, drive all the way to Atlanta, party. You were in all the pictures, all the videos, unless, yes, it was less than 24 hours and she was in ATL. Where's law? Exactly. If you're so traumatized, and law could have very well, it could have been LaBerrick's weekend, but if you're traumatized, you didn't look traumatized to me. You were dancing, you were turning up, you were in all the videos, all the pictures, you looked good. Where was the trauma? You could have taken yourself out to dinner. I would have wanted to gather my thoughts. Why in less than 6 months, I've been arrested twice. I'm trying to rebuild my life. I've been arrested twice. So her trauma response is to go to Atlanta and turn up with Yandy and Portia. Like, how is that a trauma response? And I'm going to play y'all this clip that she posted on her page. That she posted on her page showing her turn up. And I just, I don't see the trauma. I don't see the trauma response, but we'll take a look. Hold on. And y'all know that I'm working with sharing my screen and pictures and all. I'll get it together one day, but right now, y'all just work with me and bear with me. So let's see, here we go. Okay, this is what she posted um from her turn up weekend. She's, at Bloomingdale's. She's, bumping elbows with Portia and Yandy. Again, they're not on the show with her. Yandy is on Love and Hip Hop. Portia is on Real Housewives. She does not live in Atlanta. She had no obligation to be here. So where's the trauma? Look how she's turning up on this clip. Look at him smiling, all in the video, making sure she's getting Portia and Yandy. Good morning, Tawana. Thank you for joining me. So look at her. Just look at the clip. This is again. Good morning, sister. Good morning. So just watch this clip. She's pointing at the DJ. So how is this a trauma response? To a SWAT team swarming down on you where your son is, with fraud charges. I just don't see the trauma. I don't see it. If she says it, then okay. But I was listening. I oftentimes just go through the YouTube streets. There's certain content creators I listen to when I have time, and people were Destiny has a way even with this Liberic situation, not Liberic, even with the Moses, Sonny, and Destiny situation. um a lot of people have been going up for Destiny. A lot of people have been, being objective, saying that she's human. These experiences that she's experiencing is anybody that is human. Just because we don't like her does not mean that we can't show empathy or sympathy. And my rebuttal to that is, I'm very empathetic and sympathetic, but I believe in reciprocity as well. I don't believe that I just don't get it. I don't get how I've never seen Destiny show empathy or sympathy towards anyone. She didn't show it to Mel when Mel was going through her own triangle when she was with Martell and there was coleslaw and everybody knew about Slaw. And, they just made a mockery of her situation. Nobody showed her empathy when she had to, with 4 children, find a new place to stay. Martell filed for bankruptcy, so in turn Mel had to, so she wouldn't incur that debt. And she just had to, dissolve all of her businesses and restart from the ground up. And instead of Destiny being a good friend and a shoulder to lean on, she was a user. She, caused a lot of chaos by, showing Martell, telling Martell everything Melody was telling her, recording Melody. Let's see, Tawana says, I don't believe a SWAT team swatted her at a doctor's office knowing her child was there. Listen, Tawana, listen. First of all, why do you need to be shielded? Like, what, Destiny? You're not that famous. Let's start there. You're not that girl like that. I don't think maybe people were recording. They could have possibly recorded just for the simple fact that we're in a social media age and people pull out their phones and record anything. But did you not think your first mugshot was on Crime Stoppers? Did you not think that your mugshot would not make its rounds on social media? But you're not that famous where anybody will be trying to just, oh, she's on Love and Marriage Huntsville. Let's get this picture. But a SWAT team, it may have been a couple of police that were alerted that she was there and that came and arrested her. Simple as that. I don't believe it was a SWAT situation either. And I don't believe she was traumatized because her response to go to Bloomingdale's less than 24 hours after being released, she did her hair, she did her makeup, she put on her clothes. It's just hard to believe that all this happened and your son was present. Your son was just a few feet away. It's just very hard to believe that this happened to you and your first thought was, let me go to Bloomingdale's and turn up with Yandy and Portia. I just don't. Hey, Real Talk with Grace and Mercy. Good morning. So I just don't believe that I can't get with Destiny. Destiny just, it's always holes in her story to me. I just cannot get with her. And then another thing that I noticed that Destiny was talking about, when they were talking about, she began to talk about DV. And Destiny stated that she has noticed that people on social media began to say that her karma, the situation that she has going on with LeBerick is her part of her karma. And I think that's another lie. I think that's a manipulation tactic. I think that she's using that to sway people for sympathy. When I personally have not heard anybody say that the situation with LeBerick is her karma. What I have heard is people say the situation with Sonny, Moses, and her are her karma, and that she may have been cheating on LeBerick with Moses, being that it was revealed that she had a 15-year on and off situationship with Moses while he was married. So in those 15 years, a lot of people questioned if she was still married to LeBerick during that time, because a lot of people have questions on why LeBerick, with his first wife, her just giving birth to his first son, why did he want such a rapid divorce? And he's really seemed to never look back. People that experience DV, men tend to, if you're in the DV situation, most narcissistic, controlling men want to keep that control, and it's hard for them to lose control. So they will try and stay in the situation. They will use tactics to stay connected to you, whether they do it legally or, they show up places. LeBerick seems to have moved on. We really can't, for me personally, I can't get a good read on LeBerick because he's never really talked about it publicly. He doesn't address Destiny publicly. He just takes her to court for things that she violates. I can't get a good read on him because he does not talk about her, but she seems to constantly bring him up in a negative light. People are saying they feel like LeBerick is abusing the legal system. She's the mother of his child. He should not be. He should not be. Good morning, woman of strength. Thank you for joining. Hey, Valby. He should not be suing her for fraud, being that that's the mother of his child. I feel like Destiny will have her day in court. When they go to court, she'll have her chance to prove whatever is going on with her and LeBerick. If it's not true, she'll be able to prove it in court. If it is, then he'll be able to prove it in court. However, I don't feel like people should tell another person how they should handle somebody using their identity, if that in fact what happened. I don't believe that. I don't believe that you can tell a person, yes, okay, to steal my identity, to forge my name on documents, and I sit back and do nothing because I have a child with you. No, you had a child with me when you decided to forge my name on some documents and you knew that was illegal and wrong. So you can't tell people how to react to disrespect because it's not the way that you react. And I think that people have to stop doing that. And if it was the other way around, if it was Destiny doing it to LeBerick because she's female, I don't think people would have such an issue with it. So let's see. I can relate to LB. The truth usually doesn't make a lot of noise. Hello? Exactly, Jess. I feel like he is silent and he's handling things properly. A lot of people move in silence. I think a lot of times we think that people are supposed to tell us every step, every step and everything that they have going on, and that's not the case. You can't let your left hand know what your right hand is doing half the time, or they can stay 10 steps ahead of you. I think that he's handling it exactly the way that he needs to handle it. She's doing things. He's not in the limelight, you guys. He doesn't seem like he likes the limelight. He doesn't seem like he's hungry to be on TV or to be on social media or to be well known in that entertainment factor. The fact that Destiny is, she continues to use him in this situation to propel herself on, whether it be her page or Love and Marriage Huntsville. So, she doesn't come off authentic. Her story has changed quite a bit. Let's see. Being AB, I have ran from home and went to live in my store at the time she was claiming to be AB. I just do not believe Destiny and SM. You know what? I don't think that I don't want to, like I said, I haven't heard LeBerick say anything. To me, the DV story just came out of nowhere. But what really gets me with Destiny and DV, okay, so I'm a DV survivor. I do not align with anything. This is just me personally. This is my personal situation. I don't align with anything of DV. Um, I don't like, at the beginning of this video, I talked about how I didn't understand how 50 Cent was coming for Diddy with SA and DV allegations and this docu-series when he has the same type of, he's been convicted and he's also been accused of the same things by several women. So I don't see how a person that has been DV'd, I don't see how she aligns with Martell. She's very loyal to Martell. Very loyal to Martell. When Martell has been convicted of DV with harassing communications, Martell has shown on TV several times how he is how he will not leave Melody alone, how he's always yelling in different women's faces, how he's just very aggressive. And if you are out here promoting or not promoting, but if you're out here speaking on DV and saying how you're partnering with DV and mental health to talk about how can you align yourself with someone that has been convicted and a recent conviction at that, it does not make sense. So it for B, it ruins her credibility. I can't say what she's experienced and what she hasn't experienced because I don't know, but Destiny's credibility is kind of shot at this point. I don't understand how Martell can be your brother. So it's okay for your brother, cousins, uncles, nephews to be DVers as long as it's not happening to you. And see, that's a lot of people's stance, to be honest. A lot of people know Diddy's in their communities, in their everyday lives, but it's okay. They don't speak on it. They mind their business. But when it's on a wide scale, that's when everybody is in an uproar and everybody wants to speak on it. And everybody wants to, just like Destiny was using the Cassie and Diddy situation in her live, that's when people want to speak on it, but they don't speak on it when it's right at their front door. And, I cannot. And I'm not feeling her. She has no sympathy for another woman going through it. Exactly. You can't, reciprocity, as I said, you can't extend empathy or sympathy, but you want it extended your way. No, ma'am, not for me. Not for me. Just says liars usually protest a lot. Exactly. We just don't hear anything from LeBaric. We don't hear anything from him. He is not publicly. If people weren't digging for these court records, we really wouldn't know what LeBaric was doing or saying. He does not publicly try to tarnish her name. What he seems to be doing is trying to stop her from publicly making him look a certain way, where he doesn't have to come out and defend himself. If she just stops, they've been divorced for a few years. They separated. At this point, move on. Move on. If DV is really your story, it's just, I don't know. I don't know with Destiny. Right. She wants to make people feel sorry for her shenanigans. Exactly. She wants people to feel sorry for circumstances that she's created. I mean, so you mean to tell me that you have you have two fraud cases, one was forgery, I think, and now you have a fraud or something to that effect within 6 months. Could be the same situation. LeBaric just found a loophole that they didn't have the first time. So you mean to tell me you have these two situations in less than 6 months and he's the problem? I don't understand that. I don't understand why we are saying that he's wrong, or why there are people out there saying that he's wrong for protecting his identity. Anybody would do that. If somebody stole your identity, especially somebody close to you and somebody that knows better, somebody that has experienced you and knows maybe your goals. He has a business. He has a government clearance job. He's a citizen. It doesn't matter if he didn't have any of these things, even if he was just he's just a regular guy. He doesn't deserve his identity or his name to be forged on anything without his permission. And it's like we're coddling this grown woman, saying it's okay that you did this. It was a mistake, and you shouldn't be punished or receive any consequences. I don't believe that. I don't believe that for a second. Because if it were me, baby, I'm prosecuting to the fullest extent of the law. I will call the police on you in front of you. So don't try me. Y'all really wouldn't like me. I know if we stay too long, you'll go from victim to participant. If anything, that ABUs may have been a subtle and mutual. I think this is my honest opinion. And again, I can't make a full assessment of the situation because I have very little information on LeBaric. So I'm not exempting him from anything. I just have so little information on him that I can't fully make um, I just can't fully determine what happened from my perspective. But what I will say is, I remember when Destiny did the Dear Future Wifey, she did the Dear Future Wifey interview. This is something that stuck out to me in that interview. She said she was alluding to people from Alabama being slow. Destiny is from Detroit. I'm from Detroit. I came to Georgia at 16, but my family, my paternal side is in Detroit. My maternal side is in Georgia. I've always known that in Detroit, we thought people in Georgia and just people in the South in general were slow. They were slow to us. That was just a thing. It's not really the case, but that was just our mentality. Like, we so fast up here, we move, we move and shake, and everybody in the South is slow. Again, that's not the case. That's just the mentality. That's just, I don't know. It's a thing. I feel like Destiny thought that she would, she got with LeBaric. Again, she was in Atlanta at the time, I think, and he was in Huntsville. They were living separately. A lot of times when you have long distance relationships, it's easy to hide certain things from people because, you can keep that mask on a little bit easier. I think when it comes to actually getting people and getting, moving in with people, making that commitment. Here goes my dog, y'all. Here it goes. It's starting. So when it comes to the actual commitment, I think that she thought LeBaric was slow. She thought she can get over on LeBaric, and LeBaric proved to her that that was not going to be the case. Hold on one second. I'm sorry. Let me get my dog. Okay, I'm sorry about that. So I think that she thought that LeBaric was going to be slow. She wasn't. He's just not going to stop. Kane. My dog's name is King the Conqueror, you guys. Let me just shut my door. Okay. So, and I just think that she thought that he was going to be easy to manipulate. She saw he had a good job. He was going to be a provider. He was from Huntsville. She thought she was faster than him. And she thought she was going to be able to pull the wool over LeBaric's eyes in a lot of situations. And I don't think I think that he was matching her energy. I think whatever energy she was throwing out, he was matching, and they didn't work out. And instead of, I don't know what happened with the DB. I just think I definitely think she underestimated him. I definitely think so. Destiny was AB, but she was messing with Moses. She lied. Exactly. Destiny, come on. You was with Moses for 15 years. So where did that, in your own marriage, and for a man to ask for it, when that information came out, that was the first thing I thought. Okay, so this makes sense why LeBaric asked for the paternity test, because maybe he found some things. Maybe he found out some things about Destiny. And I feel like if LeBaric ever spoke, it would clear up a lot of holes in the missing pieces that people don't understand. He's probably saving Destiny by not speaking. So she might need to chill. Good morning, Pink Hearts Forever. Thank you for joining. But yeah, I think she underestimated LeBaric. I think that she thought that she could, run circles around LeBaric. Destiny strikes me as, one of them Detroit players, one of them slick people that think they're, the slickest one in the room. And I just don't think that LeBaric was a slow country bumpkin that she pegged him to be. And I can't say that he wasn't petty, he wasn't matching her energy. I just think that, it didn't work out. That's what we do know. It didn't work out. They divorced. We don't hear from LeBaric. We don't hear him trying to, I'm sure people have reached out to him for interviews. We don't hear him trying to clear his name. What we do hear is a lot of Destiny still using LeBaric as a way to propel her platforms and as a story for Love and Marriage Huntsville. Destiny is gonna lie herself into a confession. I promise you. I promise you she is. I promise you she's gonna tell a lie one day and all the truth gonna come out. Let's see. Yes, if you all haven't subscribed to Love Seen Heard, please go subscribe to her. She did a live last night. She does go live every Tuesday, I think around 8:30. And she will be coming with more content. She does mental health. It's amazing. Do you hear me? It's amazing. Please go subscribe to Love Seen Heard. If you want to drop, I don't know if you're busy right now, but Love Seeing Her. Didi, if you want to drop your link. If you're not, if you all can go to my community wall, I did share one of her lives from last week. You can click that link and go follow Love Seeing Her. Also, Jess Crown Source Jewelry. I think Jess has two pages, Jess Here to Inspire and Jess Crown Source Jewelry. If you all would like to click her link, she has beautiful jewelry. And, just go support these other ladies. And let's see. So yeah, I just think that Destiny is she's just, I don't know, Destiny does not do it for me. Again, I don't see where she's offered any empathy or sympathy. I still think in the interviews that she's given since she's returned to Love and Marriage Huntsville, she's still with the same type of shenanigans. She's not as vocal, but she still tried to insinuate that Melody was messing with LeBerick. She's still kind of, you could tell she's still harboring some ill will towards Mel, even if she says that they're cordial. Destiny does not do it for me. Whatever her story is, I hope that she gets a clear, concise of what happened and tells her story in long form instead of, talking in circles, leaving all these holes. I don't have it for Destiny. And I usually do a review on Love and Marriage Huntsville, but I'm going to be honest with you all. I did not watch Love and Marriage. I usually join De Silva's watch party, and here's Didi's link, Love Seen Heard, for her page. If you all want to go over and subscribe, make sure that you check out the videos that she already has up. It's an amazing platform so far. I'm very proud of her. And her graphics, I'm talking about just to be starting, her graphics are amazing. Didi, you're going to have to come help me because, Lord, I got to get it together. But so make sure you all go support Love Seen Heard. I heard it was boring. Everywhere I went, like the Facebook groups and social media, everybody was saying that the episode was boring. I usually join De Silva's watch parties. Last week, episode 2, I joined the watch party 30 minutes late, so I missed the first 30 minutes. This week, I did not join at all because I just was not interested. I did see a few clips on social media. I saw the sit down with Letitia, Mel, and Kimmy of why they didn't come to the podcast. Kimmy was saying that basically Melody's fans don't like her and she didn't want to be in the room. Tisha switched up in front of Mel because she had told Destiny that we were miserable, middle-aged, miserable women. But she told Mel that she didn't get an invite and she wasn't coming because she, the last time she came to a Mel event, she was escorted out. However, this was a Carlos King event. This was their boss's event that Melody was highlighted in. And you all, I went to the actual podcast. I went to the podcast in Huntsville and I did visit Black. It was a few of us that went to Black. I went, of course, to be nosy. I just wanted to see what Black looked like in person. A lot of people did go to Black, but Black was closed when they went. So a lot more people went that didn't get to experience Black. I actually went that night. Me, Ebony the Best. I met Ebony the Best there. It was a few other people, Charlotte. It was a few other people that we met, and 2 other ladies that I'm really cool with. We hey Lala, hey love. It was a few other people that we met there. I was not on that live because I didn't stay long. I came kind of just to look around to see. I had a drink and I was tired from coming into Huntsville that day, so I left. But there was a live with Wanda and some of the other people that stayed around. But one thing Wanda did say when we met Wanda did say that she Wanda was trying to tell us that she really liked Mel and she just was going on and on. But she did say that they would not be attending the podcast because Wanda felt like it should have been the whole cast invited for the podcast and not just Melody. She did say that. So I think that beyond what they're saying on TV, I think that was the whole thing. I think they were jealous that he centered the podcast around Melody and he did not center it around the cast. I think that what Wanda said was, the true feelings at that time. But anyway, so I saw the scene with Tisha, Kimmy, and Melody. Tisha was saying, she wasn't coming because she was escorted out the last event, but this was a Carlos King event, so why would she be escorted out? Kimmy was saying that Melody's fans do not like her. And I just don't think Stormy was there. A lot of people don't like Stormy. Nobody bothered Stormy, though. There were some people that went up to her after the podcast and took pictures, but she wasn't, when they called her name out, she wasn't booed. Nobody really said anything. I don't think a lot of people even saw her until they called. A lot of people didn't even recognize Stormy was in the building until Carlos King shouted her out a couple of times. Even the first time he shouted Stormy out, I was like, where is she? I couldn't see her, but the second time I did spot her, but there were no boos. There was nothing. It was just like, everybody was kind of paying attention to the podcast. So just bottom line, I think that they were jealous. They didn't want to show up. They didn't show up. She also questioned Nell about why she didn't show up. And Nell is very disappointing to me. I always try to give people the benefit of the doubt because like even Stormy, I was one of the last people, y'all might get on me, but I was one of the last people holding out hope for Stormy until she came with, a couple of months ago when she came out with that chess piece and talking all that crap. But I was holding on to hope that Melody would have some type of, not necessarily an ally, but that she wouldn't be just on this show kind of by herself. That's just a hope I had. I did not want her to be on the show by herself. I wanted her to have an ally. And when I actually went to the podcast and I didn't see anybody from the cast aside from Stormy, I was wondering, that was one of my questions, like, where is Nell and Chris Fletcher? They seem to love the spotlight. They seem to love to get dressed up and come out, and not seeing them, that was a question. Nell said that, she was in McDonough. She had all this going on. She really didn't have a real reason why she couldn't come to the podcast from the clip I saw. She just didn't show up. Just basically, she didn't show up. She didn't want to. And, Melody was telling her how she's always been there for her. She's always been a source of support no matter what she has going on. And that's what she expects from her. And Nell gave her an apology. And it just seems like Nell is going to be disappointing this season. From Nell stating that she doesn't agree with Martell getting locked up to not showing up for her podcast. And Nell didn't show up for the podcast, nor was I went to Mimosas with Melody. Nell was not there either. That was an opportunity for them to, get dressed to the nines, come out, support their friend. And they weren't there either. Maybe we'll hear about that later on in the season. But Nell and Chris are just, and I wanted to show y'all a clip from, let me see if I can find this clip. I saw them on Boss Up. They did an interview on Boss Up Official, but I couldn't find the whole interview. But I did find a clip. And let me share my screen so y'all can see this clip. Nell and Chris just, no, I don't know about them anymore. I was trying to be objective. I was saying, they were friends of both at first. I wanted to hear Chris's side out with Lexi to see why Lexi felt that he was a deadbeat father. I was going to give Chris the opportunity, but no, Chris ain't, no, they're not doing it for me right now. So let me make sure. Let me unmute.
Break it down for me because we have to tune in Saturday. That's right. But we know Martell loves to throw things out there. You said it yourself, Nell. Martell does what he wants. When you hear things like that from Martell, what is going through your mind?
Why? From Martell. Why? No, it was from Martell.
Right.
Why, bro? Why? That's Martell.
Yeah.
He wants somebody to join him.
Pick a side.
I got it.
But I love him. He's been around so long. He's really like a brother to me.
I can see that. Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I don't think I argue with anyone the way I do with Martell.
Yeah. Yes. Can we talk about that? Because there are people, Chris, who have been like, You just gonna sit there and let Martell go back and forth with your wife like that? But is it because they have this brother-sister relationship? That's just how they work.
We have the brother-sister relationship. We've always had that between the four of us, even with Destiny and Laverick as well. It's always been there.
Yeah.
When they were together. But it's always been there, and it's always been, that respectful time.
People can get things misconstrued about your relationship. We're going to see Martell throw some allegations out that have been floating around about this side chick scandal. I know you can't break it down for me because we have to tune in.
Okay, so that was the little clip that Bossip Official posted for the interview with Chris and Nell Fletcher. And I was just shocked that with Martell's conviction, that they still align themselves and, saying how she loves Martell and how that's her brother. I can't, I don't know. I just don't. I guess because like I said, for me, DB is so serious. Like I'm one of those people, this is how serious DB and SA and all of that type of predatory behavior is to me. Like a lot of people like Chris Brown. Now, when I go to restaurants and places out, of course I can't control the music, but I don't personally on my own time support or listen to Chris Brown or Kelly. I don't care. People, have the arguments of the parents did this. If Jesus himself couldn't hand me a child and make me want to assault a child. So it's just I don't entertain stuff like that at all. And I just don't see how people align themselves. People will say out of one breath DV is wrong, but then they'll support somebody that actively participates in DV. And that's where I get lost with a lot of people. That's why I don't even like to have a conversation with a lot of people, because people's stance on it is just all over the place. It's usually all over the place. Lala said that show was dead. I heard it was dead, Lala. That's why I didn't care to watch it. I'm kind of really tapped out this season. I've said this before, and I will always support Melody. I always will. But I am tapped out with the show. The fact that they're focusing on a fan base simply because nobody else has a fan base, and the fact that Carlos thought that was a good idea to put it on the show is absurd to me. I'm just over the show. I didn't watch it. I don't care that I missed it. I'm not trying to catch up with it. I've seen a few clips and I didn't find anything interesting. I know they introduced the new couple. Everybody said that scene was boring. My thing is, we've seen Martell and Melody dissect their whole relationship on the show. We've seen everything about their relationship be dissected. However, we have not seen any of the other couples really dive into their relationships. We know they're together. We kind of know that there's a misogynistic undertone to all of these relationships. But have we really been, the same type of ins and outs that we know of the Holtz, or even though Melody is a Rogers at this point, but when they were Holtz, we knew the ins and outs of their relationship. We have not gotten this with Letitia and Marceau. We have not gotten this with Kimmy and Maurice. And all we've gotten with Stormy and Courtney is that they, they're in love, they love each other, they have this business, but what do we really know about the ins and outs of their relationship? And I think they've dove so far into Martell and Melody, and they've never done that with any other couple, that it's gotten tiresome. Not saying that Melody and Martell are tiresome. I'm just stating the fact that nobody else is willing to go the extra mile to keep the show alive. They're giving us the same old, always in somebody else's business instead of putting their own business at the forefront, or even discussing business for that matter. Nobody's talking about business for real. Lala said a bunch of haters. The excuses were just stupid. Exactly. They're doing okay. So I'm gonna have to check that out. The Fletchers need to have several seats. So it's so disappointing. Pink Hearts Forever. I'm talking about, I was so disappointed. Like, after he's been convicted, y'all still talking about that's y'all brother and that's just his I'm okay, whatever. all of these pawns for Nartel being pulled into the show. Like you said, Mel didn't promote it. And that's another reason I haven't been watching. I know a lot of people are saying she's still on it. It's a source of income. I think that people have to stop saying that like Mel can't bounce back from this show. I think that Mel's source is she believes in, she believes in God. She believes in herself. And this show is a stepping stone. It's not the end all say all for Melody. She can always do something else. She can always pivot. She's a blessed woman. I think she will land on her feet. We've seen her land on her feet over and over and over. I think she'll be okay with this show. The ratings were like 258,000 this episode. These were the lowest ratings ever for Love and Marriage Huntsville. Marceau said he didn't need the support of the millimeters. Don't watch, don't come. And I think it's backfiring. I think they're all taking their hand in saying that this will be the final season because it's not looking good for Love and Marriage Huntsville. That's right. She won't stop, period. She's built for this. Some people are just built for it. And she will continue to soar, and she has her own network. She can always, she will land on her feet. I'm very confident that she will land on her feet and she will be just fine. So that's it for Love and Marriage Huntsville. Again, I didn't watch the episode, so I don't have much to talk about besides the scenes and why nobody was showing up for Melody. I think it was just jealousy that they were not part of the podcast, and they should have took that up with Carlos and not taking that out on Melody, and they could have still shown support. So that's it. I didn't want to get into Simon and Portia, but I have like 9 minutes before I have to clock in. So I don't really have a whole lot of time to get into the Simon and Portia of it all. We'll talk about them, excuse me, for just a few moments. But I can't deep dive and show y'all the clips and everything like I wanted to. But I listen to Michelle ATLian Brown a lot. Her page is straight from the A. She's been, she lives in Atlanta, and she's, she's around the Atlanta social circle. She has a lot of sources in Atlanta. She actually played the 911 call that Simon made when Portia brought the armed gunman to the Marisol home. She's read a lot of the court documents. Yesterday, she went live around 3:00 and she read the court documents with Simon and Portia. And Simon, what's going on right now, per the court documents that she read on her page, Simon is blocking Portia. Simon has filed against the production company that films Real Housewives of Atlanta to block them from filming in the Marisol home. Now, the Georgia courts did give Portia permission to live and do as she pleases in the home. However, Simon filed this against the production company. Now, so the production company, Portia on yesterday filed an emergency motion to have to be able to film inside the Marisol home. Simon has asked the courts to just file on the divorce and to rule on the divorce and not rule on the house situation at this point. He's asking the courts to stay out of it. Portia went and filed an emergency motion yesterday to have to be able to film in the house. She's agreed not to film Simon's office, his side of the sink, I guess. She's agreed not to film his side of the house, but she wants to be able to film in the house. My thing is, now listen, hear me out. I know that we are women and we go up for women, and there are a lot of Portia stans. Portia has a huge fan base. The back and forth with Portia and Simon on social media is draining. I don't even, what is she going to talk about on the show? Because everything is playing out on social media. She can explain her version, but it's playing out on social media. Simon is being very petty. Portia, even with the Rolls Royce situation yesterday, he was insinuating that he repossessed her Rolls Royce. She then in turn did a live inside of a Rolls Royce, showing that, she still has one. Portia didn't know how petty Simon is. I think Portia knew. Portia knew when he was doing it to Fallon. Portia didn't care. And, they don't think those tables will turn. And when those tables turn, boy, Hey, Hannah Grace. Y'all, I was watching Hannah right before I logged on. I did not get to finish the video because I was trying to watch Hannah, but it was time for me to start my live. Hannah has a new video up regarding Marceau and Zen Garden and Tisha. If you haven't checked it out, please go check it out because I'm going to go finish. Once I finish my live, I got to get clocked in at work, and then, you know, I do what I want to do after that. But hey, Hannah, thank you for joining. So this is my alarm for work, so I really got to hurry up. So Simon and Portia, basically, the production company has stated that if Portia is not able to film in the house, then they don't want to film Portia. So Portia filed this emergency motion yesterday, so we will see what comes of that. It looks like Portia and Simon are battling it out. And this is my take on it. I know that Portia has a huge fan base. This is their marital home. Simon's name is the only name on the deed. That's why he's able to file these motions, even though the court has given Portia permission to stay in the house due to the prenup. Simon did sign a prenup to say that if they were married 15 months, that she would be able to keep the marital home. Which was dumb if he wanted to fight for the home. But again, I think that Simon signed that prenup under the pretense that they would be married for a long time, and they were not. Simon's also saying that his children are displaced now, and he has joint custody with his children's mother, and they don't really, now he can't have access to his children because he doesn't have a place for them to stay. So Portia has her own house. I know that she's allowed her mother to move into the house. For the sake of losing your job and losing your money and this battle with this petty, Simon is petty as ever, I would give him that house back. If he's such in debt and he's such this and that, why are you fighting for this house? I would not be fighting for this house at all. Like, I wouldn't. Hey, FMC. Hey, sis. I would not be fighting for this house. I would let Simon have the house and move on and get this divorce done as soon as possible, to just stop the back and forth on social media. Because what is it about this house that has everybody in such a frenzy? If he's in debt, I wouldn't even want the house because his name is on the house. And if they come for any of his properties, I'm going to be homeless anyway. Then the prenup states that Portia can only keep the house up to a year or two unless it's sold. So if he decides to go ahead and sell the house up under you, you're still homeless. Just give up the house and stop. Both parties need to stop being petty and move the heck off. Get the house, get the money from the house, get your own places and move on. Get you a nice condo, Portia. Let Simon go. Let this divorce go on speedy and quickly. And move on, because now your job is in jeopardy. And I'm just not even, it's not worth it to me. It's not worth my job being in jeopardy, my livelihood. She's now a single woman. She's, a single mother. And y'all seen that Dennis told Portia to come on home. So Dennis is throwing his hat back in the ring. So we're just going to see how this Portia Simon Dennis saga plays out. Who will get the house in the end? What will the ruling be? It's just like it's never ending. They're kind of wearing people out with the back and forth. So we will see. I want to thank everybody for joining me. I appreciate you all. I always tell you all this. I appreciate you. You could be doing anything with your time. You all stopped in. You all showed so much love in the comments. You all have just kept my engagement up. Thank you for everybody stopping in, saying hi. From the bottom of my heart, I appreciate everybody. As always, I hope you all kick off your shoes, relax your feet. I'm sending abundance, prosperity, peace, joy, energy you all's way. I hope that you all have a beautiful Wednesday. If you all don't do anything but take a walk, read a book, a nice bubble bath, something that is, just amazing to you and your heart. I hope that you all enjoy the rest of your day. And again, thanks for joining me. I have to get off and get logged into work and get my day started. I'm over. Alpha MC says, I'm over Portia and Simon. She should have just gotten a rental home to film it. Listen, she could have gotten an Airbnb. She could have rented a quick nice little condo, fixed it up real quick, because it's not worth it. It's not worth even being put out. Even if she gets granted the home, it's not, but it's only a temporary process. Like, girl, move on. Jess, thank you. Thank you, Sis Star. Thank you. I appreciate it. That is so sweet. Let's see. Hello, love, seen, heard, everybody. Okay, so again, everybody, thank you for joining me. I got 1 minute to get to work. Love you all. Again, see y'all on the next one. Thank you all so much from the bottom of my heart. I appreciate each and every one of you. And you all have a beautiful rest of your Wednesday. Y'all are all my WCWs. I wish peace, love, and prosperity to everyone. Enjoy your day. Peace.